Ingliz tilidan chet tillarini bilish va egallash darajasini baholash sertifikatini oluvchilar uchun maxsus sinov amaliyoti. Muallif Shahzodaxon Hamroliyeva va Daminjonov Baxtiyor. Bogdod tumani. Barcha huquqlar himoyada. Barcha ovozlar Shavkat va Brayinga tegishli.
Part 1. In this part, I'm going to ask you 3 short questions about yourself and your interests. And then, you will see some photos and answer some questions about them. You will have 30 seconds to reply to each question. Begin speaking when you hear this sound. Question 1. Do you like your hometown?
Yes, I do like my hometown. There are lots of places to visit, and I like the hospitality of people there. Also, everyone is willing to give others a hand when they needed help.
Question 2. Describe your room.
Sure, my room is in a nice and secluded cottage from the countryside. The room is comfortably decorated, has amenities tailored to my needs, and is bright. With its bed and a table, it is the ideal place to study or rest. Dot.
Question 3. What do you do on weekends?
I usually like to spend my weekends outdoors by hanging out with my friends and families, either at our favorite restaurants or enjoying some of our favorite food. Of course, I also like to travel to some nice places where I have never been to when I have a long weekend.
Now, I'm going to ask you to compare 2 pictures and I will ask you 2 questions about them. What do you see in these pictures?
These 2 pictures show us differences between working from home and at an office. The first picture shows a group of people working together in an office. They are sitting around a table, discussing something seriously, and using laptops and papers. The atmosphere looks professional and focused. The second picture shows a man working from home. He's alone, wearing casual clothes, and sitting at a desk with a computer. The room looks bright, cozy, and full of plants. To conclude, the first picture shows teamwork in a formal setting, while the second one shows a relaxed environment for individual work.
Question 5. Do you think it is safer to work in an office?
Yes, in general, I think working in an office is safer compared to jobs that involve physical labor or outdoor work. Offices usually have controlled environments with less exposure to dangerous equipment, harsh weather, or heavy lifting. For example, someone working at a construction site or in a factory is more likely to face accidents or injuries. However, office work can have its own risks, like long hours sitting at a desk, poor posture, or stress-related health issues.
Question 6. Would you work in an office or at home?
I would say I prefer working in the office because, in my opinion, home should primarily be a space for relaxation. Moreover, Working in an office environment not only facilitates the exchange of responsibilities, but also fosters stronger professional relationships between colleagues and various individuals. All in all, working outside the home provides the opportunity to make new friends and create supportive networks.
Part 2. In this part, I'm going to show you a picture and ask you 3 questions. You will have 1 minute to think about your answers before you start speaking. You will have 2 minutes to answer all 3 questions. Begin speaking when you hear this sound. Look at the photograph. Describe a time when you faced a disagreement. How did you handle this problem? What do you learn from this situation?
One situation when I faced a disagreement was during a group project at university about a year ago. We were assigned to work together on a presentation about climate change, and there were 4 people in our group. The disagreement occurred between me and another group member named Fred, who had a very different opinion about how we should present the information. I believed we should keep the presentation simple, using clear visuals and straightforward explanations to help the audience understand easily. However, Fred wanted to include a lot of detailed scientific data and complicated graphs, which I felt might confuse our classmates. At first, the disagreement caused a bit of tension in the group, and we couldn't make much progress. But I decided to stay calm and suggest a group meeting where everyone could share their ideas openly. Instead of arguing, I listened to his point of view carefully and then explained mine in a respectful way. In the end, we reached a compromise. We used some of his detailed data but added clear explanations and visuals, as I had suggested. From this situation, I learned the importance of communication and teamwork. It taught me that disagreements don't have to become conflicts if we handle them with patience and an open mind. I also realized that listening to others and being flexible can lead to better results than sticking stubbornly to your own opinion.
Part 3. In this part, you are going to speak on a topic for 2 minutes. You can see the topic on the screen and 2 lists of points, for and against, related to the topic. Choose 2 items from each list and give a balanced argument to represent both sides of the topic. You have 1 minute to prepare your argument. You will then have 2 minutes to speak. Begin speaking when you hear this sound.
I think working from home can be very helpful for many people, but I don't believe it should be permanent for everyone. One big advantage is that it saves time and money, as employees don't have to travel long distances every day. Also, many people feel more relaxed at home, which can boost their productivity and mood. In fact, a quiet home environment often helps some workers stay focused and finish tasks more quickly. However, there are also clear disadvantages. Remote work can make teamwork more difficult. It's harder to share ideas, communicate quickly, or build strong relationships when people don't see each other in person. Also, when someone works from home all the time, it can be hard to separate work and personal life, which may lead to stress or even burnout. And of course, not all jobs are suitable for remote work. For example, jobs that require face-to-face interaction or special equipment. So, in my opinion, working from home should be an option, but not a rule for everyone. A flexible approach is probably the best solution.